But this experience was a different kind of experience, because I could actually feel that I was being manhandled, I was feeling all the pulls and pushes, and I was like, what are they doing to me? Greetings, women. Greetings, mothers. Greetings to you all who've got women and mothers in your lives. Welcome to another episode of My Life Experiences. My name is Wezi Nyanewa Sosola, your usual host. And today, yet again, I've brought another episode in my series, My Birth Stories. In the Birth Stories Part 1, I talked about the judgmental pastor. My Birth Stories Part 2, I talked about must-dos and must-haves for a new mom. Part 3, why I ran away, why I escaped from the maternity ward. And this one is Part 4 in that series. But first and foremost, I just want to reiterate the sentiments that I had expressed some time back about the work that is done by the medical professionals in hospital, such phenomenal work. You may recall about a year, 2 or so, where the pandemic had befallen us. Some of them went to the extreme of putting their lives at risk just to save the lives of the patients, the lives of the citizenry. Some of them even lost their lives in so doing. 24 hours of the day just giving themselves selflessly, looking after the interest of their patients. What a great calling. What a great work. But without further ado, I want to jump and dive deep in today's episode. What I've just expressed my sentiments on is an ideal situation. What the best of them, the best of the crop, they do in the hospitals. But wherever there is an ideal, you can't fail to see one or two who stray away from the ideal. Of course, we are not expecting to have perfectionism. We're not expecting to have that, because we are all human beings and we are always giving each other some grace for error, some room for error. We do understand when sometimes you are tired. We do understand when sometimes you've got problems at home. We do understand all those circumstances because it happens to all of us as people. However, there are some times when some of them can really stray away from the ideal to the point of putting the lives of their patients at risk, whereby as a patient, you are so vulnerable, you can't do anything, you've got no say in that situation, and they end up putting your life at risk, and other people even they lose their lives in so doing. That's what I want to talk about today. Now, I was pregnant and I went to the doctor for my first antenatal visit, and while there, I explained to them my whole experience, past history with my other pregnancy, the fact that I had to undergo an emergency cesarean section, and the reason why and the outcome of that emergency cesarean section. If you want to get more information on that, just look at the link above, My Birth Stories Part 1. It's gonna give you the gist of what I explained to the doctor, all my experiences with my pregnancy, what I went through during that emergency cesarean section. So when I laid all this out to the doctor, I laid it out, and they say to me, to avoid that risk of you having another emergency cesarean section because of the condition that you have. So we need to book you for an elective cesarean section. Of course, after that, sometimes you have this incline as a woman that, no, I want to experience normal childbirth and so on and so forth. That kind of thinking. So I went back home, thought about it. Then I told my husband that I think I should go to another doctor for a second opinion. And I did just that. Went to another doctor's office, antenatal appointment, laid out the whole story again. Then again, they said, you need to be booked for an elective cesarean section because we don't want you to run into the same risk. So I had no option but to abide to that. They booked me for an appointment for 39 weeks. Now, in the meantime, I started praying because I still wanted that desire for a natural birth was still within me. So I started praying, God, I want to give birth naturally. God, may you intervene. God, I'm looking for a miracle. God. When it got to 37 weeks, I need a miracle. I could do extensive exercises just because I wanted the labor to be induced before the appointment date, so that perhaps I would have a normal childbirth. And 37 weeks passed. I kept praying. And you know, when people are talking about the instinct that a woman has about a baby's attitude when they are born and so on and so forth, I think it's true. You could know that this is the kind of temperament that this child is going to have. Going to be a calm child, or is going to be an aggressive child, an outgoing child, an introvert or an extrovert. Somehow I knew that this would be a boy, because of the activity that was happening within me. This person was like every time, boom, boom, boom. Is this a football player or what? Coming to 38 weeks, I'm praying, miracle, miracle, miracle did not happen until 39 weeks. A day before C-section, I walked, I pushed myself, exercising, nothing happened. This baby said, I'm not coming out naturally. I'm remaining here. Sometimes you feel as if your prayer is not being answered, but whatever way a baby comes out, it's okay. It's okay. You just have to be prepared, as long as the mother is safe, as long as the baby is safe. I came to 39 weeks pregnancy. I went to the hospital for examination to see that everything was okay for the sake of the cesarean section. And they also had to test the level of my hemoglobin. But unfortunately, it was quite low, not to the level that the doctor was comfortable proceeding with the cesarean section. Of course, I explained, I'll do another episode actually on this, the fact that I've got a history of low hemoglobin, and I'll tell you all the interventions that I've done with that particular case. So in this instance, again, I told the doctor that I was taking my iron supplements and everything, even though the hemoglobin has not risen to the level that you would love for it to be. So let's just go ahead, let's remove this baby. But the doctor said, I'm recommending that you have a transfusion, but I don't know what. I've never really experienced this transfusion. And I just want to give a disclaimer. It's okay to have a transfusion. It actually saves life. It saves lives of so many people. But for me, in that instance, I was just in that, I said, no, I don't want to have a transfusion. I just want us to proceed with this C-section, no transfusion happening. Then the doctor said, no, this is risky. We need to do a transfusion. But still, I refused. I just told the doctor that let's keep it, the BLOOD aside. I'm just using this because sometimes it can be so sensitive with some words that are used on this platform. So I'll be using that acronym, the B word. I said, no, I don't want the B word to be transfused in me. But if you still are not comfortable as a doctor, just keep it aside. When I really need it, and you can proceed and do the transfusion. But now, at the moment, let's work as if I don't need that transfusion. Let's just forget it. The doctor still was not happy with my decision, but let's proceed. The next day, I was prepared. I went into the theater. But I'm telling you, the kind of experience that I had gone through. But this experience was a different kind of experience, because I could actually feel that I was being manhandled, I was feeling all the pulls and pushes, and I was like, what are they doing to me? The type of handling that I was feeling, when I had that anesthesia up above, I could feel everything. But still, with my previous cesarean section, I didn't feel anything. They were so gentle with me, and even the healing was so fast, so quick. But with this one, I could actually feel that, what are they doing to me? It was so like manhandling, with not even gentle. I don't know how to put it, but it wasn't, I think it wasn't the most gentle way of doing it. I don't know the reasons for that. Maybe the doctor was unhappy for my refusing to. I'm not sure. I can't speak on their behalf. Or maybe this is the way they do it themselves. As a doctor, I don't know. I can't speak to that as well. But going out, my praise the Lord, my baby was out. I went out of that room, but still I knew that something was extremely wrong with me. And I was having the kind of pain, not necessarily on the wound, because pain on the wound is understandable. But the pain that I was having was coming from the ribcage, okay? Just to show you, coming from under here on the ribcage area and going up, okay? So the pain was like moving from the ribcage going up. Every time I tried to raise my head up, the pain could just flash from under the ribcage and go up, and I would just do, like crying out in pain. I couldn't raise my head like this because the pain was just intense coming up. So I was like, what kind of pain is this? Because from my knowledge, the cesarean section, the pain is supposed to be felt on the wound area where the incision was made. But this pain was up on the ribcage, up like that. After I went out of the hospital, of course, I Googled it. What happens for somebody to feel pain like that? And it was just like when you are really in a traumatic kind of situation, you've been hurt a lot. That's what happens. Then I concluded when I was out of the hospital that this doctor did something to me, did something very bad to me. That's why I could even feel this pain coming up like that. Okay? Something I never felt before, but I don't know. I hung in there. For 3 days, I was having this pain. And even when I was discharged, my sister-in-law, who was my guardian at the hospital, told me, made a certain comment. After I was healed and everything was normal, they said to me, you were really sick. You were sick. And I was so afraid for you. I was afraid for you. Then I said, what? Then she said, you were very sick. Maybe you don't know how sick you were, but you were sick. Anyway, I'm on the hospital bed. The following day, you have to wake up and, walk about to enhance the healing process. So in the morning, I said, let me go to the bathroom and take a bath. I just got off my bed while I was feeling, that intense pain, okay? But I had to strengthen myself. The pain was coming, this side. But I stepped off the bed, trying to go to the bathroom to take a bath. The moment I stood up on the floor, I just saw the B word everywhere. It was just like, and I had a C-section before, and for somebody with a C-section, you don't be LED that much. You don't do that much. But this time around, I was so shocked. What is happening all over the place? And the lady, the cleaner, was right beside me, and she was like, Mom, what's happening? Didn't you wear any maternity clothing? Then I said, no, I've worn all the maternity clothing that I had to. But still, I BLED as nobody's business, all over the place. I walked to the bathroom door. I was feeling so faint. My heart was just beating so fast. But meanwhile, before I gave birth, I told my husband that go and buy me some iron supplements, more iron supplements. I want to be taking them. So since the time of the cesarean section, I was just taking iron supplements consistently, morning, afternoon, evening. That's what I was doing. But still then, my heart was beating so fast. I was feeling so faint. I just touched that bathroom door. I was feeling as if my life was coming out. I don't know, friends. Life is too short. Life is too short. Sometimes we take for granted the life that we have. We take it for granted. And as long as you are alive, search within you, what is the purpose for your life? What is the purpose that God has given you in life? And pursue that purpose. Don't wait till late, because life is too short. You never know how it may be snatched away. So just work all you can, labor while you can, do all you can to pursue the reason why you were placed on this earth. Okay? Because life is too short. If you've got a ministry, you have a calling. Every one of us has got a ministry deep down them. Just reach out within you and pursue that. Pursue that, because life is too short. Anyway, having reached this point, I have to stop it here. I'll continue in another episode. And meanwhile, don't forget to like, to subscribe, and to share. Also, turn on the notification bell so that you are alerted every time I post another episode. Thank you so much, friends. Stay blessed.